there everyone, welcome back to Anna. My name is Anna and today I decided that it's time for another comparison video. So for today I decided to compare the current planner that I'm using, which is this one, the Take a Note mini planner, and the planner that I am intending to use for next year, which is the Hobonichi planner. I'm going to compare them in terms of size, the kind of binding they have, and more importantly, the spreads that they have on them. So without further ado, let's just get to it. The very first thing that I want to compare is the size. Both of these planners are marketed as A6, but the specification is a little bit different. The Hobonichi planner is a tad bit taller and also a tad bit wider, by about I think 1 millimeter. So let's just put this together so you'll see exactly what I mean. So I have my Hobonichi covers, for both of this planner, and later on we shall see also what other accessories you can use for this planner. So let me place this one side by side so you can see them clearly. Actually, I don't know if you can see that. There, you see that black cover peeking out? That is the Hobonichi planner, peeking out. So there is about a millimeter difference, and the same thing also when it comes to the thickness, or I should say the width, of this planner. It's kind of hard to see that because my tabs here kind of blocks your view, but if I do this and put this together and kind of like tilt the paper like that, you'll see that there is a black cover peeking out. So do you see this edge here? You see like how the black shows up? So this is the indication that this planner is in fact just a very tiny bit larger than the Take a Note planner. So that's that. So having said that, whatever accessories that would fit the Hobonichi is also going to fit here in the Take a Note planner. So let's now start comparing these two from cover to cover. So let's take a look at the cover. This particular Take a Note planner actually has like a thick cardboard material, so it's not like flimsy or anything like that, but still definitely you want something to cover it with, because if you're not careful, you might wrinkle this, like if you're not careful with it. So I suggest that you get a cover for it. Now the Hobonichi planner is the same way, so it has that cardboardy material, okay, which is like that. Okay, but when it comes to the outside cover of this too, this one is more like carton, like more paper, but this one has some kind of coating on top of it, so it gives this like a textured appearance, and looks like it is coated with something that would help resist moisture or like water or fluid. Now this one does not have that, so if you spill something on it, it would definitely absorb the moisture. Okay, so something to think about. Now both of these planners, they do have their branding on the cover. So for the Hobonichi, you have the 3 keys foiling there and the hobo, and then for the Take a Note planner, you have a very tiny kind of like stamping on there that says Take a Note, and then here you also have the year. So the one that I have here is a 2023 mini planner, and it is stamped with like a black the black lettering. And then if you take a look at the binding, so the binding looks really neat on the Take a Note planner because the spine is exposed, and which makes this planner really so flexible. I mean, this particular one lays completely flat, so it's very easy to open, very easy to close, and it lays completely flat. So very nice, very neat feature. So it reminds me of like old books, that has this kind of binding, where the spine is exposed. And then over here you have the cover. The back cover is similar to the one in front. Okay, so nothing really fancy there. Now let's take a look at the Hobonichi planner. So the Hobonichi planner has more or less the same binding, and it also lays completely flat, so very similar to the Take a Note planner. Okay, but this one has a covered spine, so you do not really see the spine exposed. You do have some branding here, or some foiling here. It says Hobo, and then over here at the bottom you see the year 2024, and the back is just a similar material as the front. So that is about the cover of these two planner. Now let's compare this page by page. So if you are somebody who is deciding on which planner to buy, then you would know exactly which one will suit your needs. So the very first thing that you'll see is another cardboard material. Okay, and then you have, of course, the first page, which is kind of like just the Take a Note Planner and the 2023. Very similar, with the Hobonichi. Same thing. You open this one, there's an extra cardboard thingy. You have their branding Hobonichi Techo Planner. And then after that, you'll start to see the calendar. So the layout of the calendar of these two planners are a little bit different. So let me zoom this in so you can see clearly. So it starts with the last 4 quarters of the previous year, and then it will have the 12 months, of the current year, and then it will include the beginning, okay, or the first 4 months, of next year. And these are all in one page, okay, all in one page here for the Take a Note Planner. Now let's take a look at what that looks like for the Hobonichi. The Hobonichi starts with the current year, so there is no extra page for the previous year. It just starts with the 2024, okay, all 12 months, and then you have all 12 months, of the next year. So as you can see, both of these planners have the same size. The print on these pages are very different. So the Take a Note Planner actually uses, a much paler ink. So the print here looks like it's kind of gray, and then the red one that you'll see, it's not really red. It looks kind of like maroon brown to me. So it's very pale, and it's also very light and very tiny. So I don't know exactly what font size this is. But if you look at the Hobonichi Planner, the Hobonichi Planner print, of course, is clearer. And I'm not sure if this is black, but if this is gray, this is definitely a darker gray. And then the Sundays are marked with red print. So similar to the Take a Note Planner, the Sundays are also marked in red. Okay, so you have one page for the calendar for the Take a Note, and you have 2 pages for the Hobonichi. The next page for the Take a Note Planner is what they call the Gantt chart. Let me zoom that in so you can see that clearly. So what you have here is some kind of chart in a horizontal format, where you have the months in a year in a vertical format, and then the days of that month in horizontal format. And each of the day here corresponds to like a certain box that you can check off. So if you are tracking, certain things and marking, certain dates, so this is definitely going to be useful for you. And I think it's kind of neat. But like I said, the print on this paper is very tiny. So if you are somebody who has weaker eyes, then maybe the A6 size will not work for you, and you may want to get, a larger version of this planner. Maybe the A5 size will work for you. Now let's take a look at the Hobonichi. The Hobonichi, after the calendar comes the index. You do not have like a Gantt chart like the Take a Note Planner. I think this is kind of neat, right? Because you can check off, certain dates. You can check off, certain boxes there if you're using this for habit tracking. So the next page for the Take a Note Planner is a similar index, but as you can see right here on your screen, you have 3 columns, per page. So altogether, this whole spread marks the first half of the year, where you can specify, certain schedule on a certain date. Now I just, enter here, or should I say I just wrote here the holidays, because currently this Take a Note Planner is only has the Taiwanese holidays, and I am not sure if they sell this in English, but maybe they do. So the holidays are not indicated on the calendar, so I just wrote down, the holidays, the specific day for the US holiday. Now, the Hobonichi Planner also does not have the US holidays, so you have to just mark it on your own. But this one has a column format, so you have 2 columns in a page. Okay, so it's very similar in purpose with the Take a Note Planner. Okay, but this one actually starts from, let me take a look, from December of 2023 up to March, of the next year, 2025. Now this Take a Note Planner only ends at December, okay, 2024. It does not have, extra pages for the first quarter of next year. So unlike the Hobonichi has some extra index, for those for the beginning of next year. So the next thing that you're going to see here after this index, you'll see the monthly spreads. Now the monthly spread for the Take a Note Planner starts from December of the previous year up to March of next year. So very similar with the Hobonichi. The Hobonichi is the same way. So this is actually a used planner, and there are some stuff in here that I am not comfortable sharing, so please pardon me if I cover some information in here. But I do like to decorate my planner. I do like to put some decorations, some stickers on it, and I had fun doing that. So we shall see what the page looks like later on. I have some empty pages that I can show you, just so that we can compare the similarities and the differences between these two planners. So as mentioned, this starts from December of last year, and then you have the December of this year, and then you have January, you have February, and you have March. So it ends in March of 2024. So this one, the Hobonichi planner, is very similar. So it starts with December, okay, of last year, and then it ends in, let me take a look. So you have your January 2025, February, and then you have March. Okay, the only difference is that for next year, it has some watermark 2025, so you know exactly that this is a different year. Whereas the Take a Note Planner, as you can see, does not have that watermark. So now let's compare the calendar, and you'll see the difference right away, between these two calendars. So let's take a look. As you can see, let me zoom this out so you can see this clearly. Maybe I can place them side by side. So the very first thing that you notice instantly is that the print is actually bigger on the Hobonichi planner, right? Okay, so the Take a Note planner has much smaller boxes for the days in a month. Okay, and that is because these two planners have slightly different grid sizes. So they both come in grid, but the grid, let me focus this, okay? The grid of the Take a Note planner actually is, let me see if I can zoom this a little bit more. The grid size is actually 3 millimeters, whereas the Hobonichi planner grid size is actually 4 millimeters. So as you can see right there, you see a striking difference, in the size of the boxes here. Okay, so as you can see, the Take a Note planner actually makes the space here, um, okay, actually utilizes the space a lot more efficiently, I would say, but that's, I think, it depends who you ask. So as you can see over here at the top, you have some extra pages at the top. So if you like to write something on the top, decorate it with washi tapes, like put stickers on it, make some personalization on your calendar spreads, that is something that you can do with this Take a Note planner. You have some more free spaces here on the right hand side. You have plenty of spaces here on the left hand side, and there are some spaces here at the bottom. Okay, but the downside of that is that the space for the calendar is a little bit smaller compared to the Hobonichi planner. Now let's take a look at the Hobonichi planner now. So really, the Hobonichi planner at first glance look really larger just because of a larger size grid. And as you can see, the Hobonichi planner maximizes the space to contain the calendar so that it would be easy for you to actually see what's on it. Okay, so not only are the boxes larger, but it comprises almost the whole page. It fills up almost the whole page. You don't have much spaces here at the top for any decoration whatsoever. It gives you a tiny space here on the left hand side and a little bit of space here on the bottom, but that's all you have. Okay, so the Take a Note planner actually provides more margin, so you can write on the sides, at the top, and then even at the bottom. So that is the main difference, between these two planners. So this side spaces here, you can absolutely use this for maybe jotting down your to-do list. Your running to-do list, anything that you'd like to take note of, some reminders. And the same thing here, you can absolutely do that here as well. But I'd like to point out though that even though the space here for the calendar is really tiny, I would say that the line in here is more or less the same. And at first I thought that, oh my goodness, this is so tiny. There's no way that it will work for me. But you know what? I am using this for about 10 months now because we just started, in October. But you will see that, I was able to write, my schedule in here on these tiny boxes. And that is because I also tend to write small to begin with. But if you're somebody and you tend to write bigger, you probably would need, a much, larger box, okay? But that one is fine with me. So let us take a look at the number of line that you have in a box. I think this is neat. I don't think a lot of reviewers have mentioned that, but I think this is something that is significant if you think that, your writing will fit in here. So let me zoom this in so you can see clearly what the boxes look like. So as you can see, the box here is really tiny because the grid is 3 millimeters. But if I start counting, let me start counting from the number. Do you see that number? I'm going to start counting the line because when we write, we tend to write on the line, right? That's where we tend to write. So let's start counting from the number. So that's 1 line, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So there are 7 lines where you can write whatever you need to write. Okay, whatever you have on your schedule. So there's 7 lines here. Now let's take a look at this Hobonichi planner. I will start counting again from this number, and then we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 6 lines, and this is 7. So although you will see that this is really tiny and this is really small, but if you tend to follow that line, you may be surprised that you can write things on here, okay, more than just one schedule. In fact, I can write like maybe 3 schedules in one box. I can fit that. Number 1, I can do abbreviation, and that is including stickers. So I like to do like mini icons, mini stickers on it. So so I mean, this is perfectly doable, but like I said, it depends on your writing. What kind of writing do you have? Do you tend to write small? Do you tend to write big? But so that's it. So you can definitely fit in here the same thing that you can fit in the Hobonichi. It's just that it's going to be a slightly larger version. Okay. Now another thing that the Hobonichi does have that the Takenote does not have is this weekly number tracking. Okay, so this one tells you exactly what week this particular week is in a year. So let's say, for example, this is week 9, this is week 10, this is week 11, this is week 12. So it does count that. And on the calendar, it also shows, let me see here, it also shows the moon phases, I think. So there are icons in here. I don't know, maybe I don't know what that means. So maybe that means like a full moon or something, I'm not sure. Okay, so there are like little circles in here that you see. Okay, now the Take a Note planner has a nice and neat feature as well, so that the Hobonichi planner does not have. Let me share that with you. All right, so over here, I don't know if you can see that. So do you see my spreads? So this is like a tiny little calendar I have here, but I am happy about this and how this looks. I like decorating it like that and giving it some sort of personalization. It is just something that you cannot do with the Hobonichi because the space are all, for the calendar. But this one, I definitely like that aspect. Okay, so let me zoom this in so you will see exactly what I'm talking about in here. So this one does not include those circles for the moon phases, but it does give you this. Do you see this little box here that says P? Okay, P323. Do you know what that means? P323 actually stands for the page. So if you want to look up, the corresponding schedule for that particular days of the month, say for example, days 1, 2, and 3 for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you know exactly that this is on page 232. Okay, so it is some sort of index, so to speak. So, and another thing about the Take a Note planner is that each page is numbered. So let's take a look over here. I don't know if you can see that. At the bottom, you see that this is page 32, and this is page 33. Okay, and let me see here. This is page 251. This is page 250. So let's take a look at the corresponding page. Okay, page number, page 232, and see if it will take us here in December 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Let me see if it will take me there. Maybe not. Okay, December. Let's see. Okay. All right. So this is December. As you can see, this is December. Yeah, it says there December 1st. And then 234 is the start. 234. And let's see if it corresponds to that. Well, it says 232 because 32, 33, and 34. Oh, sorry. 232. So that's because it is 32. Okay, 232, 33, 34. So it corresponds to the pages, okay, that you have in there. Okay, so that's another thing that you can that's kind of neat, with this Take a Note planner. So Let's find out something else. Okay, so those extra months will not have the pages. Okay, will not have that page index. And the reason for that is because there's no extra daily pages, so to speak, for those extra months. Okay, because the daily pages is only for the current year. Another thing that is different is that, okay, I don't know if you can see this, but do you see that the Saturday and Sundays? So the Saturday and Sunday is marked with a different color. It's kind of like maroon brown to me. That's what it looks like. But over here on the Hobonichi planner, it's only the Sunday that is a different color. Okay, so this one, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so 2, and then March. Another thing is that this one really has really tiny print, So again, it's all up to you. Now you know the difference between these two. Another thing that I like to point out is that although if you close this two, okay, and take a look at the thickness of this of this planner, this one is 0.6 inches thicker, and this one is, I think, 0.5 inches thicker. So they are more or less the same thickness, but the Take a Note planner has significantly fewer pages. And the reason is because the Take a Note planner does not have daily pages. So the Take a Note planner total page, I think, is 256, whereas this particular Hobonichi planner page is more or less double, like 448 pages total. So as you can see, they can fit a whole lot in the tiny space, because this one US 52 GSM new Tomoe River paper. This one uses Tomoe River paper as well, but they used 68 GSM, so the paper is a little bit thicker. So it's more or less the same in color. It's white in color. It's just that the thickness of the paper is this one is thicker definitely. This one is 52 GSM. So as you can see, like if you flip it, you can actually it's noisy when you flip it because of the crinkling of the pages. This one does not have that as much, but it's a joy to write in, because if you like to use fountain pen inks, then those shading and sheening, those interesting ink features, they're all going to show. Okay, so that's about the calendar spread. So now let's take a look at the monthly, not monthly, the daily spreads. So I call it daily, but it's not really daily, but that's what we're going to call it for now. So for the Take a Note planner, they both have, the tiny little calendar in here that will tell you exactly which day of the week you are on. So as you can see over here, I don't know if you can see that, my camera cannot focus. Yeah, so you see that little kind of like circle in here. So it tells you exactly which week you are on in October. Okay, so it's kind of neat because it outlines that. Now the Take a Note planner has a special feature that I really, really, really like, and I wish that the Hobonichi planner has. It has your week at a glance, here on so it starts on Monday, and you have your week at a glance. So you can take a peek at it all at once, in one page, here on the left hand side. That's what the Take a Note planner has, that the Hobonichi planner does not have. So as you can see, you have 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and you have 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 20, 21, 22. So you can write in here, what you think will happen on your week. So you don't need to specify the timeline, but if you have like a birthday that you are going to attend, if you have like a certain project, certain deadline, then you can certainly mark this here. So then you have your week at a glance, at once. Okay. Now over here on the daily pages, actually it's not daily pages, I call it daily schedules, because really what this is a timeline. Tells you what day of the week it is, and then it outlines your schedule from, let me zoom this in so you can see it clearly. It outlines the very top here line that you see is 6, so this one at the top would be 5, from 5 o'clock up to midnight 24. And then so on this column, as you can see, it's divided into 2 columns. There's a faint line dividing this, so you can actually outline your time schedule, and then whatever like extra description you may have on this other column. So that's basically what this is. The bulk of the whole book is basically the daily schedules. That's what it is. It's basically for planning. It's not like meant for journaling. There is not a space for you to actually tell a story or something like that. It's more of like plotting your schedules. It's more of like time management. That is what a take a note planner really is. Okay, whereas this Hobonichi planner, the Hobonichi planner has daily pages, and you'll see what is the date. You have the corresponding week, you have the moon phases, you have some space here at the top. Some people actually do this for their running to-do list. And then there is something similar here where you can have like a timeline in order to plot your schedule for the day. So it starts with, it does not have like a specific time, which is something that is, I think I like that because it's flexible. Okay, so it only tells you 12 o'clock, and then here at night you have like the fork and the knife, signifying dinner, and that's all it has. So it does have a space for plotting your schedule. It's just more a flexible way of doing that. And then the rest of the page is just grid, and it's up to you to, I don't know, you can use it for anything. If you want to journal, you can do that for journaling. If you want to do artwork, you can do that for your artwork. So it makes it really flexible. Unlike a take a note planner, as you can see, all of these are just daily schedules. Okay, and then another neat trick here is it also has that calendar, and also tells you exactly which day of the month you are in. It has a little cute quote in here, which I think is kind of neat because I like inspirational quotes. But the take a note planner does not have that currently. Okay, so that's basically the difference between the bulk of the pages for the take a note planner and the bulk of the pages for the Hobonichi planner. And then towards the end, okay, you'll have, so this one ends in the 31st of the year. So basically it ends in December 31st. And then after that, you'll have your extra, pages. And that's all. That's what Take a Note Planner has. There's 4 extra pages in the back. And that may not be enough space for you to take notes. It's something that I don't like about a Take a Note Planner because, there's not an extra page for you to write, but it only gives you like 4 extra pages, and that's it. And then the final page here is just for your personal information, and that's it. Okay, so that's about the take a note planner. Now let's take a look at the Hobonichi planner. The Hobonichi planner actually offers more. So at the back of this, so once you're done with your year, the same thing, it also ends in the last day of the year, December 31st, and then it turns into a dot grid in. So instead of a graph, you now have a dot grid in red, and these are for your notes. So there are 15 pages here, which is not bad, but still not enough if you are somebody who really like to take notes. I did use up, 1 or 2 pages here to actually swatch, my fountain pen ink just to kind of compare, like how the shading is on this new paper. And then you have some extra pages here at the back. So after those space for your notes, then you have like important contacts, some measurement charts, conversion table, my 100. You have, interview with myself. You have, where is that little, let's see here. Maybe it's not in here. I'm looking for the check off boxes. Oh, it's not in here. It's maybe in the weeks. You have some recipes you can try, and then your personal note. So that's about it. All right, so which of these 2 planners do you think will meet your needs? Do you think you need a take a note planner, or do you think the Hobonichi planner suits you more? So let me know what you think in the comment section below. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and you will be notified of my new videos. And if you have questions, comments, suggestions, I welcome them. So I really love hearing from you guys. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you again next time. Have a good day.